lens is off a little bit here. Okay, what is good, everybody? It is the Godfather of VR, the ageless one of the man, Lincoln Clay, coming back at you with a what's the word I want to use? A very early VR game in Robinson the Journey. So to give you a little bit of a background about this game, I believe this game came out sometime in 2017. For those who follow me, I've talked about how I bought the PlayStation VR day one in October of 2016, and I gave it to my son for Christmas, and he took it home, and he was unable to play it because at the time his bedroom was too small. So he brought it back here, and the PlayStation VR sat around for a couple of months and nobody was playing it because I was still stuck on flat screen games at the time. So I had reached a point where I was thinking about selling it, and then I thought that I need to give it a fair chance because I don't want $500 to go down the drain. So at that point I made a commitment to try to start playing VR games, and I started searching around for VR games that I thought would interest me. And there's a part of me that will always be a graphics whore, and so I was looking for games that I thought had a compelling story as well as great graphics. So when I saw the trailer for this game, I was amazed by the graphics, at least from the trailer. So I bought the game, and I think the game was $60. And this was probably the first game that showed me that the trailers, what you see on a trailer doesn't necessarily match up with what you see inside the headset. And I think this was the first game that showed me that you know, when you see something flat screen, at least up until now, this was in the beginning, that at that time something that looked flat screen and then you see it through the headset, it's not as crisp as what you see on flat screen. But the game did have, you know, the game did have good graphics. But so let's go ahead and jump into this game, and then, you know, I'll describe a little bit what my mindset was at the time, and then so let me see here. 5 right there, you see the date right there, farm, April 29th 2017. I'm gonna do let's start a new one, just because just so you guys can be brought up to speed on the game and so you can see it from the beginning. I think this game is about a kid whose space capsule landed on a primitive planet with dinosaurs on it, and he had to survive, you know, through all this stuff. I think moving forward, what I'm going to do is, because of the growth of VR, a lot of people, especially with the Oculus Quest, are walking in games like Beat Saber that had already amazed us about a year ago. They're just now catching on to it. But I want to take it a little bit further and let them see what we were playing in the beginning.
Higgs, take a look at this.
My scans indicate that this is a high-risk area, mainly on account of it being a tyrannosaur's nest. Oh my. Stay back, Robin.
She's cute.
This is a game that can be played with a DualShock 4, so Titanfall
That
Princess, if you happen
is
to
a
see this,
vicious
this
predator.
is a game you can play.
I know what you're thinking. No pets.
I think I'll call her Rika.
Good morning, Robin.
So, now this scene right here, I definitely remember what my mindset was at the time, you know, because I'm inside this ship.
I'm so glad you're awake. I've been rather bored without you. You know what I'm like. I start to get a little existential when I don't have someone to care for.
Now, when I was looking around inside this ship, I was impressed. The graphics was pretty good, even to this day. Over 3 years later, this still looks good, you know, especially for the PlayStation VR. And I remember thinking at the time that the developers that did the VR port for Drive Club, that's when I blamed them. I was like, those guys are shitty, because how was that game so damn blurry? But I'm looking at this and I'm like blown away by how good this looks. The graphics are good, and there's no blur. Even right now, you know, and even with me looking through this refurbished headset, it still looks good 3 years later. You know, it's not, of course, it's not razor sharp like a Rift S, but it still looks good. It's still a good clean picture with no blur. And that was like, so when I was looking, I remember when I was looking around in here, I was thinking to myself, this is going to be a great game, and I can't wait to get involved in the story. But so let's go ahead and walk outside.
Take your time. I think you're going to have a big day ahead of you.
Okay, so versus what the inside of this capsule looks like when I got outside.
Still standing, even after a year. Can you believe we used to live on that ship? Hurtling through the stars at 67 million miles per hour. Until she was a magnificent ship, wasn't she?
Other people must have got off as well. How long until we find them, Higgs?
You've done extremely well to survive this long. Others might not be so resourceful.
So when I came outside, versus what the inside of that capsule looked like, see, the capsule still looks pretty good right there. You know, I thought the inside of the capsule looked amazing. You know, now that I'm outside, I don't want to use the word downgrade, but out here to me doesn't look as good as the inside of the capsule, but it still looks good. And I remember thinking that wow, I can't wait until we get the first person shooter games, that kind of stuff, because you know, we already had Drive Club, and I wanted more racing games. And, you know, I figured, you know, Drive Club was going to be like the start of us getting a lot of sim racers on PlayStation VR. But now I know why we didn't get them. But still looking around at this game, you know, it made me think about the potential of VR. Like, I can't wait for us to start getting more first-person shooter games, because at that time, you know, first-person shooter games and racing games.
Where's Leica got to?
Why
was
don't
mostly
you
what
try
I wanted.
calling it?
Leica!
That beast is up in its hole, hiding from shame, I'd imagine. I'm afraid we have some work to do before you can play with your pet. Best you take a look around.
And this orb, or whatever you want to call it, this supposed to be an assistant or guide, doesn't seem to be very trusting of that Tyrannosaurus. Let me go look over the edge before Now this part I do think I remember thinking how far of a drop this is and how real it looks. And being that this is supposed to be a planet full of dinosaurs, I think I remember thinking, what if I was on the edge right here and there was a big Tyrannosaurus charging right at me, and I got, you know, and I got to decide whether to try to take on that Tyrannosaurus or jump off the edge. And not only that, and that was in addition to a compelling story, great graphics. I remember thinking that, wow, this would be a chance for us to see what dinosaurs would have really looked like millions of years ago in its actual size and scale.
The beacon's not getting any power. I suppose no one would see the beam during the day anyway. Let's fix the scarecrow. It's going to need 2 arms, a head, and a hat to be useful. The multi-tool will fix this up in no time. Excellent. Well done. Very good.
Okay. I'll move on to something else in a second, but I'm gonna do a little bit of exploring. Animal ducked back into his hole. I don't know if this is supposed to be a toilet or not. So there's no question that I'm probably gonna finish this game. Oh! Move! Ah! Move! Damn!
Why don't you shoot some hoops?
No way you're gonna make it. Almost went in. Try it one more time. There we go. Something else about this game, this game actually made me slightly sick because I was still trying to get my VR legs under me. Because, like I said,
You see here, the water turbine's clogged. That's the cause of the power outage.
I'm wondering
All
if
that
this is
roughhouse
supposed to...
dinosaur play. It must have
this
tipped
supposed to be
these
a stove.
barrels into the water. Excellent. We have power. But I can see now that the circuits need repairing too. Oh, wonderful. I can actually help you with that.
So now I switched up to the robot. I don't really remember this part.
Ah, so good to feel useful. The power should be flowing perfectly now. The wicks will be back online.
I didn't remember that part. Yeah, I think as I was saying, I was still trying to get my VR legs under me because I think by the time I bought this game, I think the PlayStation VR had been back in my home for a month or two because my son had brought it back. You know, like I said before, was sitting at his home and he couldn't play it because his room was too small. And so after about a month, I said, just bring it back here and just play it here when you get a chance.
Move! Shoo! Go away! Why won't you listen to me? These dinosaurs are causing the gate to lock. The gate won't open until those animals move. Maybe your pet could be of some use for a change.
There's nothing to levitate here. Oh, so I know I gotta go to wherever Leica is sleeping and bring her out.
No. Robin, I wouldn't get too close to that fence, especially when you look, you know, edible.
All right. So it's obvious we probably got to go inside that blue dome. Oh. I heard some kind of roar.
Oh, there it is. Get it to drop that ball before it destroys the thing. It's not like we can buy another one.
Come on, Leica. Don't worry about Higgs. I just gotta work on your training so that he doesn't blow a fuse. Give?
Now, big test. Can it remember how to play hide and seek? Head over to the tree there and start the game. I'm going this way.
The movement is slow in this game, though.
Hide and seek starts at the tree. Simple creature, simple rules.
Leica, wanna play hide and seek?
It's too far away. Call it over.
Get here.
Now you can start the hide and seek game.
Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4,
Ah,
3,
cheated.
2, 1. Ready or not, here I come.
I cheated. Yeah, I cheated. Call me Kid Smooth. I cheated. I turned around and looked to see where the dinosaur was going.
warmer. Warmer?
There she is.
What has it got there? That is a Higgs unit. Get your pet away from him before some serious damage is done. There's precious data in there. We should scan it immediately, Robin.
Precious information, eh?
How did it get here? We don't just... This is a colony unit sent ahead of the Esmeralda to lay the foundations of our society. A piece of your history.
All right.
These guys built a whole landing site. If our crew are out there, that's where they'd start the colony. These Higgs units can tell us where they are. There must be more. Let's find them.
I see. Well, the data here suggests there are 3 more nearby. Follow me. Send it to the gate here. These animals are causing the gate to lock.
Go there. There. Go there.
It can't do it.
Go, go.
Good. Now have it bark at them.
Roar. Roar.
That's it. I don't like scaring the
Well,
poor
you should have
things, but
faced
your
them when you
friend would
roared
have
at 'em.
probably eaten them otherwise. Thanks for all your help today, Robin. I know maintaining your home isn't always what you want to do, but it's vital to your survival. And you know that's what I care most about.
All right, let's proceed.
I would like to check on the farm this morning. I stopped receiving a signal from the Growbot sometime last night. We don't want to run out of food.
Interact. And this is a game you can play sitting down too, being that you're using the DualShock. I've never streamed this game before either because if you can see by my last save.
I know I nag you about this, but it's really about time we started doing some real science. How about adding animals to the infotarium?
If you look at my last save date, which was April 29th, 2017, I did not start my YouTube channel until, I believe, December 17th, 2017. So, even that much further into the year, I was playing VR, but at the time, flat screen was still my preference. So I didn't think I made the full jump to VR until 2018.
Oh no, another perfectly good piece of DSEV equipment ruined. Did that beast of yours destroy it, ungrateful pest?
Give her a break, Higgs. She's an orphan.
Yes, you're right. I know.
So let's go this way.
I'd advise against adventure, Robin. It's dangerous. We'd have to explore uncharted areas. We can live here safely by the pod forever.
There's living, Higgs, and then there's surviving. That pod doesn't even have a shower.
Fine, but you can turn back at any time. This direction is definitely dangerous.
Let's look at the jungle.
See how the vegetation here is becoming denser? That's because you are approaching what you might call a jungle. According to my dictionary, a jungle is defined as an unnavigable area of tangled trees filled with man-eating predators. It's a jungle. There are monsters and things. Please, you don't need to risk your life over a Higgs unit.
Boy, that's narcissist.
Right. Last chance. Are you quite sure you want to find this unit, Robin? This jungle doesn't look dangerous in the slightest. That was sarcasm. Luckily, they can't get up here. Otherwise, you'd both be lunch by now. See? Raptors.
Damn, they trying to get up here, though. Damn, this... Looking at this still looks pretty damn good 3 years later. Now, because of how old this game is, naturally it's not worth $60. But I think... Move, Leica. Yeah, they trying.
Down, beasts. Get down. Good, they're leaving. I don't think they'll go very far, though. We should avoid the jungle floor.
So what do we got here?
This way. Come along. This way.
Okay, so where am I supposed to be going here?
Come along. I know the way. Off we go.
Oh.
I know the way. Right. A spot of climbing. You remember what to do, Robin, yes? Both hands holding on tightly, please. Are you worried about your pet? It's perfectly safe, you know. Against my better judgment, I'd say the higher we go, the less likely it is you'll be eaten by raptors. Is that Yes, I think it is. Robin, get up here, quick. I want you to see this. I see an escape pod. Now don't touch anything. Let me take a look first. This pod launched empty. There was a Higgs unit, but he's gone. Taken. Torn from his dock. Perhaps by some vicious animal. Okay, you were right. There is a Higgs unit. It can't be far.
So there were no survivors on board.
I could take another look for you.
Okay, we gotta climb up some more.
I was right. Don't look down, but those raptors are still tailing us.
Yeah, I don't remember all this shit. Yeah, I don't remember all this shit. But what I was gonna say is this game is 3 years old. You made no effort to try to you know, feature this game to try to entice new people to VR to buy this game.
Some of these butterflies have got the same markings.
So why not send this game over to Oculus? I mean, you've already traded once with Tetris Effect and Invader Immortal. So why not trade again? Why not contact Oculus and see if they want to send one of their older games to the PlayStation VR platform and send this over there?
For you, Robin. Butterflies are very sensitive to light. They'll react to your laser pointer.
I think if you were to send this game over to the Oculus store for $20, you could stir up some interest.
I calculate these vines will take your weight.
All right, so it looks like I gotta get up there and take those vines across to that branch over there. Yeah, I think when I was playing this game, I don't think I took this route before.
I must admit, that's quite impressive. You're like Tarzan.
So I got to get over there.
Reliable spherical guide.
Oh yeah, I can definitely say that I've not seen this part before. That dinosaur is huge. It says grab ledge with both hands to try to drop down? No. But damn, but if I go across and take those vines across, I would be headed right over to that dinosaur.
Did you even look before grabbing that?
Pretty slick. See if I can get closer to it.
Oh, good. A herbivore. He is big, though.
Honestly, I have to admit that back when I was playing this game back in 2017, I would have been scared to come this close to this thing. The only thing that would have made me not scared to come close to it is because this particular dinosaur was supposed to have been a plant eater.
Here, Robin.
His head is big enough that he could eat me with one bite. Okay, so where do I go from here? So I guess I can scale back across that way using the ropes. And there's nothing, doesn't seem to be anything here that I can levitate.
Hello?
Oh my goodness! Look how big this thing is! Now, it is said that these dinosaurs existed millions of years before the first caveman. Looking at a creature like this, I don't know if man would have been able to survive with creatures like this.
Excuse me, Robin?
Oh, I bet you I could use those. I could probably use those things to feed them. If I can get close enough. There we go, and I got a trophy.
Good. On we go.
I didn't know he was blocking our path, though. I thought it was just, you know, just something to look at. Damn! Please don't roar at me as I'm leaving. Humongous. I only meant to be playing this game for a few minutes just to show you guys what I was doing, you know, back then. Okay, so it's obvious I gotta climb those shells. So, and I'm thinking this might be pieces of the crashed ship that I was on. So, hell, I might actually come back to this and play some more of this. With that being said, I think I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up right there. And grab a bite to eat because I am a little bit hungry. And I will go back into my vault. So this is what I plan on doing is going back into the vault and streaming some of the older VR games before I started my YouTube channel, so you guys can see what everybody was playing with when the PlayStation VR first started up. Because I did have I want to say that I Oculus CV1. I want to say that I bought that towards the end of 2018. I can't remember. I'll have to go back and find my Best Buy receipts to find out exactly when I bought it. But point is, I think I had my PlayStation VR. I think I was playing that about a good year and a half before I bought my Oculus Rift CV1. So I was basically limited to what Sony was offering as far as games go before I got an Oculus. So I can show you the games that I was playing at the time. So yeah, I will do that. I'll go into the vault and stream some of the older games that I had so you guys can see what I was playing back in 2017, well before I started my YouTube channel and when I was still primarily a flat screener. So, but thanks for watching, everybody. I can still say that, you know, for a game that's 3 years old, I can definitely say that I'm still impressed with the graphics of this game. And the best part about it is no blur. Now looking into that forest, sure, you know, leaves and stuff like that, it is what it is. You know how it is with leaves. You know, it's going to look blurry in the distance, but looking at the rest of this stuff up close, there's no blur. So other than having to use a DualShock 4 as your controller, I could almost say that this game was ahead of its time. So, I'd like to see Sony give this game a second life by sending it over to Steam or sending it over to the Oculus Store. So, I mean, this is one point where having an exclusive and hanging on to it does you no good, because this game is so old, nobody going to jump up and go buy a PlayStation VR for this game. So you might as well give the game a second life by sending it to another platform. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and boogie on out of here. I'll try to come back with something later on today. Thanks for watching, everybody. I will holler at y'all later. On behalf of King T'Challa, Wakanda forever. And I will holler at y'all later. And from the Higgs unit, too. We will catch y'all later. Deuces.